Hello, it's Kim Sullivan from Six Pet Memories. I just want to do a quick YouTube video on how to make a quick drawstring bag. And this has been inspired by the need for the NHS staff to be able to have bags to bring their uniforms home to throw in the wash. So I do hope you find this helpful. What you'll need are two bits of fabric, which are, if you've got fat quarters, if you're a quilter, you'll know about those. But the fat quarter measures 18 by 21 inches-ish. Or 50 by 56 inches. The measurements don't have to be exact. We're effectively making it quick what would have been the old PE bags. So on one of your pieces of fabric at the top end, so that's the longest end, what you're going to do is you are going to measure down 2 inches from the top and then measure 1/2 of an inch in and do a quick snip with your scissors, and do that on both edges of that top edge. We're going to take this down to, we're just going to adjust this so you can see what I'm doing. You're then going to, with an iron, I did this before and I started again, so I'll just show you, is we're just going to fold this edge under slightly. We're just creating a nice neat edge for the casing. And just press it, and then you'll fold the whole lot up to that 1/2 inch cut that you made, okay, and give that a press. Right, once you've done that, you're going to do that on all 4 sides. You're going to take that to your sewing machine. We are going to sew. Let's get the sewing machine off it. Let's get it off here. Sewing machine across so you can see what I'm doing. And we're basically going to sew, and you see, along this edge, just to get it a nice neat edge. So just pop that down there and just sew. I'm just using a neutral thread here, and we're just sewing up that edge there. We're very slow for some reason, I don't know why. I'll turn the machine off and back on again. I know why, because I've hit on my machine I can sew just 1 stitch at a time, and I don't want to sew 1 stitch at a time. I want to sew lots of stitches. Now it will work. That's it. So once I've done that, you're going to do that on all 4 sides. So can you see, you've got this L shape here, and we've just neatened this edge. This is where the ribbon or the casing is going to go in ultimately, and I'm just going to snip that thread away. So you're going to do that on both sides of each piece, okay? And I'll just get rid of that thread there as well. So the next thing we're going to do is back to the iron. This time you are going to, on this long edge, so you've got your 2 L shapes here, just so you can see there. We're just going to make a little turn, and we're going to iron that down. And you can just eyeball this, roughly 1/4 of an inch would be marvellous. So just iron that all the way along there. And now you are going to fold this top edge to where the L is. So can you see that's there? So if I just show you, so I've folded that down to that edge there. All right, and you are just going to press it. And pop a pin in to keep it in place as you go. Just pop a pin in there. And I'm going to press this. So it's this top edge. I always find it easier to do the edges, the sides first. Get the pin in, and then I can press the rest. If anybody's wondering, I'm just using my Prim mini iron, and I am using a wool pressing mat because it gives me a lovely edge. You can easily do that at home on your ironing board. Okay, so once we've done that, you've got that so it looks like this now. We're going to sew along this edge, and again, just on the sewing machine. I'll just get rid of that. Put this in. What I find is if you feel it's a little bit bulky, just take that pin out now because I've got it in place. Just come in slightly. Okay, so I've just come in slightly there, can you see? And I'm going to sew a few stitches forward, and then I'm going to reverse, because sometimes the sewing machine doesn't like things if it's really bulky on that edge. So just sew it along here, all the way along. And you're going to do this on both edges. So if I get your pin, because I've got my pin in that way, I'll take my pin out. Get to the end. When I get to the end here again, right to the end. I'm just going to do a few reversing stitches like that. And you're going to do that on both sides. So now what we've done is we've sewn down this edge here. Okay, I'll just get rid of those. Then you are on my knee. So I've got a head, and you're going to place both of these pieces right sides together. So you've done both sides. I'm going to place the right sides together. So there's the casing with the L. Okay, I'm going to pop a pin in there. And I'm going to put a pin at the bottom end. You're basically going to just pop a few pins in and pin them so that the right sides together. I should have my wrist pin cushion on actually. Easier. Just pop a couple of pins in just to keep them together. Like that. And on this side here, again, just make sure that the L matches up there. Okay. I'm going to pop that down there. And then a few extra pins, and the pins are just there just to keep it safe. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew up this side, do the other side, and then sew along the bottom. But this time, can you see where the L is? That's going to be my seam allowance. Just turn that round. So it is near a half-inch seam allowance. I'm going to put it there, right? Just sew here, sewing from that all the way down. Take that pin out. You have to take the pins out as you go. Sew all the way down. It's quite quick, and I find it easier. You sew right off the edge. All will become clear in a second because I'm going to show you how to do it in a boxed edge. And we're going to sew along the bottom. All the way along the bottom. Now these bags are going to be washed a lot. So the fabric that you need to be using is something that can be put in the wash with the staff's uniforms. I presume they'll probably be washing on at 40 degrees. What I'm using is 100% cotton. You could use a canvas, but you don't want anything that's going to cause a problem in that washing machine for them. All the way up. When you get to the end, which is at the L, just do a little reverse stitch from the fan, and we're going to take it out of here. Okay. So now you've got all three sides sewn. We'll take the pins out. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a flat bottom. You put your hand inside your bag. Okay. And if you wanted to create a flat bottom, then this will just give them a little bit more space. You're going to match up this seam. So you're going to open this seam out here. You don't have to do this, of course. You could just leave it the way it is. And open that seam there. Oops, daisy. Match up the two seams if you want to do a flat bottom. What you would do is you would sew across here, trim this edge off, and then do the same on the other side. And I would go about 2 inches for this particular bag. Now I'm going to choose not to do the flat bottom because what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlock these edges because that means that they'll not fray at all. If you haven't got an overlocker, you could just zigzag the edges, and what that'll do, it'll just mean that it's going to be washed a lot, this bag, and it will withstand it. And for the ties, we'll turn this through. For the ties, you could use ribbon, but again, I was conscious of the fact that we need to have this bag washed a lot, and so what I've decided to do is to use, it's quicker, it's cheaper, it's easy, is to use fabric. So if you get some fabric, that is the width of fabric is normally about 42 inches wide. So if you get your fabric and cut it around about 2 inches, 2 inches wide, and then the full length, the length will be about 42 to 43 inches. And I'm going to use the print turning tools, which is an absolute godsend. A job like this. Sew forwards would be good. Sew across the short edge like that. Then I'm going to trim off that excess fabric there, and then I'm going to sew. I'm going to put the right sides together and sew all the way down that long edge, quite close to the edge of the fabric. I'll just go for that. Now the prim turning tools come in a set of 3, and they will turn through any tubes that you have. So whether it's a job like this, or whether it's belt loops, bag handle straps, doll's legs, they're an absolute godsend. This way. As I say, the reason I don't want to use ribbon is that the ribbon might not wash as well as the fabric on the temperature that I want it to wash at. And to be fair, ribbon can be quite expensive. All I'm using here are bits of fabric I have left over. Now, if you don't have a piece of fabric for the outer bag that measures, remember 18 inches by 21 inches, you could always join your fabrics together, so it will become that size. It doesn't have to be one solid piece of fabric. It would look quite nice if it wasn't. So this is the prim turning tube. And what I'm going to do is push that inside of there, and then just push it all the way up. Keep it going. So it goes all the way to the very end. And then when I get to the end, there's another part of the tube. You just pop that through, and then literally in nanoseconds, I'm going to show you, you have a tube turned through. How quick was that? Let's get the stick out. I should just cut this end off. So I'll just cut that end off. Get rid of the stick. Okay. And then take that back to the iron. Give it a press. It's entirely up to you how you press it, but I tend to press it so that the seam is on the back edge. Just press it along there like that. The next thing you need is a safety pin or something, because we're going to start and feed these ties through. Now the reason I like to make 2 ties is I always find it's easier on the drawstring bag for it to be sort of pulled together, gathered together. So I'll go back to my bag, and I've made 2 ties, and I've already put a safety pin in the end of one of the ties here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this edge here, and we are going to push it through. The safety pin just literally helps you get it through. So going all the way through there. And what you basically do is we start this one this side and the other one the other side. So if anybody's got any questions how to make these, then please let me know. If anybody wants to drop any off, then please either email me at sales@six, which is six-penny.com, or alternatively go onto the Facebook page that we have and send me a message, and the Facebook page is 6 Penny Memories as well. So now I'm just pushing this through here. Push it through. We do have some contacts to get these bags dropped off at the hospital, and I do know that the nurses, the ones that we've asked, have all said, oh yes please, because it's just going to make their lives so much easier. You could personalise these, of course. You could add some applique on if you've got any orphan blocks, if you're a patchwork and quilter and you have some orphan blocks. What I mean is something that you were practicing with and you didn't want to use it again. So can you see what I've done there is, I'll get the safety pin out, because I've come through this side and I'm just going to tie these 2 together. Okay, just literally put a knot in, and I'm not going to do anything more with this, so I'll just tie that there and pull that back. So that's that side done. Now what we're going to do now is we've fed this one into this side. We're going to start feeding this one in this side, and it's always a little bit more, it's a little trickier doing this one just because we've already got some fabric inside. What this will do is it'll give the start and finish. Oh, hang on, if I typed the wrong one together there. Oh, you silly sausage. See what I've done there? I've typed the wrong one. What an idiot. Tied those two together instead of this one. So where's my safety pin? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start here, okay, which means that the row edges, the start and finish will be on this side. And as I say, this takes a little bit longer to do. Just purely and simply, once you've got started, you're all right. Just pull it through. So the safety pin is pushing through there. The only thing you want to be careful of is that you don't lose the ends of the other one. Push that through. So we're nearly there. And how quick and simple are these to make when you're not under the pressure of trying to do it on a YouTube video? 2-minute job. And if you're starting out sewing, it's a great way of practicing. Make great book bags as well. Gym bags. We used to always make our gym bags when we were at school like this. So we're nearly there. So can you see now? Oops. Right. So that was my original two. I will try and join these two together now. So I've been a silly sausage like I was before. So I've just knotted those two together. So they're not going to escape anywhere. Now, if you didn't have any fabric, what you could also use is you could use a pillowcase or some sheets. You know, you might have a duvet set that you're sitting at home thinking, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't like it anymore. You might have some sheets and just cut those sheets into two rectangles that are about 18 by 21. That's what you need for the main body of the bag, 18 by 21 inches. And for the drawstring, just cut your strips into 2 inches and around about that 42 inches long. Just hit it. And I think in this times of isolation that we're all going through at the moment, at least you're making something, you're having a bit of fun. You can make one for you, one for your friends, and then make one for the NHS. And as I say, get them to me, and I will make sure that they get handed out to everybody. We're there. So now take that out like that, and then we'll just tie this one together. Just put a knot in. So put the knot in there. And the knot's not going to come out. I'm literally just doing a quick knot like that. And if you want to neaten up that knot again, if you have pink scissors, great. If you don't have pink scissors, it's not the end of the world. Scissors, and that's if you've got pink and scissors, you could use those on the inside as well. So there you are, and there you are. Very quick drawstring bag. And this one, once I've overlocked the inside, is on its way to the NHS. So thank you for watching. As I say, my name is Kim Sullivan from Sixpenny Memories. If you've got any questions, please contact me at www.six-penny.com, and sales@sixpenny.com is the email address. Thank you very much for watching.